Before we pray, something happened this week, a seemingly small thing, but it has just impacted my heart in a huge, huge way. On Friday morning this week, I believe it was Friday morning, I was out front of the church about 8 o'clock in the morning. That by itself is pretty amazing. And I was picking up political signs because as a voting location, everybody puts signs out by the side of the road. And of course, they never pick them up because if they lost, they are bitter. And if they won, they want to kind of celebrate it by leaving it out there. Anyway, this guy comes up and he pulls in, guy about my age, and he introduces himself. He says, "My name is Jon Ton." He said, "You know anything about this bell?" And he points to the bell out there. And I said, "Well, it came from First Reformed Church in Roseland." And he said, I thought so. That's the same bell. And we went over and looked at it. And he said, "My great-great-grandfather, Jon Ton, was the chairman of the deacons at the beginning of First Reformed Church in Roseland." And he said, now family history, family legend says that he donated the bell, but he says it's just as likely that he was the chairman of the committee that did it because he was the chairman of the deacons. I said, "Where do you live now?" He said, "Well, I live in Indianapolis. I'm in town today because my grandfather, my great-great-grandfather, again, the chairman of the deacons at First Reformed Church in Roseland," said they had a farm at 130th across, right where the Indiana Avenue Bridge crosses the little Calumet in Dalton. He said that was a major stop, maybe the major stop in the Underground Railroad. And Friday, I wasn't able to go because I didn't know about it in advance, but the Dutch ambassador to the United States and the Little Calumet Underground Railroad Society, and I don't know who else was involved, were putting a historical marker at that site. And I thought, that's really cool. And we talked a little bit, and the more I thought about it, I thought, man, that's beautiful, isn't it? That regardless of anything else that's happened in the south side of Chicago and the south suburbs, there has been division and at times hatred and anger. But at the very beginning of who we are, the gospel brings people together. The gospel says people shouldn't own people, that all people are created equal. That isn't just our founding documents as a nation. That's the main point of Genesis 1 and 2. All of us are created in the image of God with equal value. And I just want to, especially those of you who have history in this congregation that goes back possibly to 1849. John, you have history, right? Well, yeah, not John himself. Definitely not Laurel. But I just think that's a beautiful thing. And sometime later this year, we're going to organize a trip down to Lilydale Progressive Baptist Church. which is the old First Reformed Church in Roseland. And I've decided, without actually consulting anybody else, that we are also going to, on that trip, stop at that historical marker and celebrate the fact that Jesus brings people together.